You may also use a felt tip pen. I prefer the crayon. It's a thin layer of color on it now. I give the plate back in the patient's mouth. Close, please. And now make the following movements: forward and backward and forward and backward. And as you are back, now go to the right and back and forward and back. And as you are back, go to the left and back and forward and back and to the right and back. The operator should refrain from touching the patient's chin. He may coach the movement, but he should not force the mandible in any strained position. Again, forward, backward, to the right and back, and forward, backward, and to the left and back. Now open, please. What we get is a Gothic arch tracing or a Giese arrow point, and the arrow point indicates the retruded position of the mandible, the position of the mandible from where lateral movements can be made. It coincides with the uppermost and midmost position of the condyles of both sides. This one is the fore and back movement, and this one is the movement to the left side and the movement to the right side. Now I fix this situation, or to counter-check it, I mark a crosshair over the arrow point. I scratch it with a sharp instrument. There we are. And recolor the plate. I still can see the hair cross. Replace plate in the patient's mouth. Close, please. And again, forward and back. And to the right and back. Forward and back. To the left and back. So these movements are repeated. And, open please. We get the same arrow point as before, as you can see here, and you will always get the same arrow point, not throughout lifetime, but for this period you need for reconstruction. Nothing is constant in life. Now, let me take out the upper plate and fix this arrow point with a plexiglass disc. This plexiglass disc has a perforation, as you notice here, and I place it in such a way over the arrow point that the little hole in the plexiglass disc is just above the arrow point. This is fixed with sticky wax. There we are. You see that I assured the situation for the plexiglass disc by putting the wax throughout to the border of the registration plate, because here we have our crayon color, which is a little bit fatty and isolates too much. Now I replace the plate in Monica's mouth and put the bearing stylus in the maxilla. No, there we are, and close. And she closes right into the little hole.